Okay, so hi, it's Marina, the Soul Alchemist, and I've got the lovely Ashleen with me today, who's going to share a bit more about her story and feedback from being on the Akashic Business Activator Program. So Ashleen, do you want to just introduce yourself and tell us a little bit more about your business?
Yeah, so as Marina said, my name is Ashleen Cunningham, and my business is Mind, Body, You. So I am a mindset and business coach. However, that being said, a lot of transitions and transformations have taken place in what I do and how I do it since starting this program.
Yeah, and what is really interesting for people watching this is that Ashleen also works part-time in corporate as well. So she's got her own kind of job that she's fulfilling as well. And that's very similar in terms of the journey that I've come from. And only, in the last 7 months stepped into working in my business full-time. So it just demonstrates that this program can, be flexible, and you can work it with, whatever your circumstances are. Some of the ladies are actually working full time in their own corporate job, but also want to establish a business. So it's very flexible in terms of who can kind of jump on. So it's great to have you here, Ashleen. So I'm going to just ask you a few questions so we can kind of dig a little bit deeper. So where were you at before you started the program in terms of your business and kind of, yourself, where were you at?
Before I started the program, I was probably disconnected from my business more than I wanted to be, and disconnected from myself as well. So if I'm being honest, that's where I was before I started. I also, in the beginning of the program, was in the process of moving house. We have recently moved into our new house. So I was sort of the person on the program who maybe wasn't on track with everybody else, but I still had it there, and I still had the group, and I still had Marina, and it was a great resource for me, especially then when I really needed it. So with coming into the program, I was already starting to feel as though I wasn't on the path that I wanted to be on within my business. And I was, I think, operating from a place of pain and healing, which was not actually then affording me the opportunity to give more to my business in the way that I wanted it to. So yeah, that's where I was before starting the program.
Amazing. And it's great that you can kind of see that, your starting point and kind of, where you were, and recognizing that that's probably not the best place to be in terms of creating a fulfilling and successful business. But we do have to go through these phases and these shifts in order to kind of then do something with it. So how did you find being on the program, and kind of what shifts have you experienced, and kind of what positive changes have you, in terms of results that you've seen?
Okay. Well, because life was busy with the house move, I was already feeling a bit of a disconnection. I knew, and I had a lot of tools at my disposal coming into this that I knew I could implement with clients, but to actually do those tools on myself at that time, I was struggling with, because I couldn't settle myself into doing meditation. I couldn't settle myself into listening to my higher self. I couldn't access my intuition. And for some reason, the way that Marina delivers her guided meditations and takes you through the Akashic records, it lifts me and my ego, shall we say, out of the process. And I was taken along the journey of finding out what was actually important to me at a deep level, and where I was being shown through the work that Marina does with us, where I wasn't being true to myself within my business, and the changes that I knew I had to make on a personal level and a business level, and how I was able to be shown just how much they meant to me. So I've actually forgotten your question, Marina, because I got so lost in that.
No, it's okay. And I kind of got lost with you. So I mean, that's amazing that you were able to kind of get to the core and the soul of your business, and really determine what it is that's important, because that is then, once you've kind of got the core of that, you can then just evolve and build upon that. But clearly you need to, in whatever way that I'm able to facilitate that, which I'm pleased that I can, that you were able to get that clear guidance and can, like you say, get over the 3D stuff and the ego and all of that. So on the back of that then, so you've got clarity, you've got to the core of your business, and you kind of have that understanding. So how have you taken your business forward now from being on the program, and what changes have you seen?
What changes? I have shed layers of what wasn't needed. I have cleared paths. I have been confident in my decision to make that change, knowing that it wasn't failing, it wasn't a step backwards, it wasn't derailing me. In fact, it was taking me back on the path that I was actually meant to be on the whole time, and to be able to appreciate everything that got me there. So it got me the foundations of my business, I would say, and the vision and the clarity for where I wanted to go, especially with the 6-month vision work that you did. And I initially, before doing the inner work, resisted it. And then once I'd done the inner work with what you offer through your videos and your teachings, then I was able to allow that to become clear. So that's clarity, I would say, has been the biggest thing. And the other thing was giving myself permission to not sway into old patterns and not sway into what I know is not true to what I really want to bring. It's almost like, this is where I'm going at whatever cost, no matter what. I know what's important to me. So that was huge.
Yeah, I mean, that's massive to have that clarity, but also to have that determination and focus, because we, as spiritual entrepreneurs, we're very easily swayed, and kind of, can kind of go off with shiny object syndrome and all of that, and we can get quite bored as well. And we'll just do a bit more of this and a bit more of that. And so the fact that you've got that clarity and that determination and that focus, that's really, 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 that's really going to stand you in a lot of good stead actually moving forward. So why would you recommend somebody that is perhaps thinking about jumping onto the program, but they're not sure, or they're not sure if they would be able to use the Akashic records? Why would you recommend this program?
Well, I had never been taken into my Akashic records before. I didn't really know what they were. I didn't really know that they could be beneficial. I'd done a few of the guided meditations with you, and it was great. But to actually go in there and to be transported into your own Akashic records, it's you with you. Marina's guiding, but I'm there with me, connecting to the higher version of what I want. And it's me connecting back to who I am and getting that clarity from within rather than from outside of myself. I always looked outside of myself for, approval, validations, showing that I was on the right path. Whereas now I recognize that if it's not connected internally, it's not for me. So for anybody who is wanting that foundation of their business and is wanting to get that clarity, if you think you can't do Akashic Records, I didn't really know what it was, but now I know how helpful it can be. So
yeah, perfect. And obviously you've got the information, you've got the tools, you've got the guide, and you've got all of the stuff that I empower you with now to kind of continue on that journey. Exactly. Continue to clear those layers and build upon what it is that you've created, which is fantastic. So,
and because I was sort of off track in the process with the house move and everything, I knew I wanted to start it. And you know what, initially before I did sign up with you, I'm going, is it right, is it not, this is totally not the right time. But I also knew something inside me was saying, just do it, just this is what you need to do. And I have that now that I can pick up, now that I have that firm foundation. And yeah, I like your clear approach, and it just keeps me very focused on track. So all the worksheets and everything you have, and then you've got links to your videos within the worksheet, so I can do that in a time that suits me. So that was helpful as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm so pleased and delighted and honoured to have been able to hold the space over the last 4.5 months for your journey and for you to kind of get where you are at this point. Obviously, those up levels will continue, as you say, as you continue to kind of move forward. But yeah, thank you very, very much. And thank you for being here, Ashleen. Really appreciate it.
Well, thank you, Marina.
No, you're very welcome. And so if you do want to get in contact with me, you would like to jump on the next round, which starts on the 21st of March, then get in contact. The early bird offer finishes on the 1st of March. So do contact me about that, or if you want to just know anything more. Otherwise, then hopefully I'll see you on the programme. And again, thank you, Ashleen, for joining me today. Speak to you soon.
Bye.